done that, we'd have probably been talking about injured or even deceased firefighters, because shortly after we made the landing on the second floor of that apartment building, the roof collapsed and resulted in a mayday for us and evacuation of the building. So Mark's efforts just did not save the people in that building. He also saved firefighters that evening. So it's my great pleasure to recognize Mark Collins, if you would join me here. And on behalf of the Division of Fire, Mark, Division of Fire's Medal for Valor, a certificate of heroism for us, and a Fire Chief's coin. And thank you very much for your heroic effort.
Thanks, Chief.
You're welcome. Thank you again for your brief amount of time tonight. We appreciate it as always. Have a good evening.
Well, thank you so very much, and thank everyone that was part of both of those instances. We're very, very fortunate to have people like this in our city.
Mrs. Mayor, if you don't mind, they would like to excuse themselves for some more pictures in the lobby. Is that okay with you?
Great. No, we'll just take a few minutes and wait for you.
So we can keep
Give him a pass.
Continuing on with our agenda, we have no public hearings this evening, and this is a time when we ask anybody in the audience who would like to make comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your statement. Seeing none, we'll continue on with the city manager's report. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have two items this evening. First, city offices will be closed on Monday, May 28th, in observance of Memorial Day. The rec center will be open from 7 till noon, with the fitness area, track, and gymnasium only. Also, under council's summer schedule, the June meeting will be held on Monday, June 18th at 7 p.m., with the workshop beginning at 6. Sorry.
I think we're all suffering this.
Do we need to get firefighters back in here?
That's study session will begin at 6.
Can you breathe?
Very good.
All right. We have no action items this evening, and so we have no old business, and that brings us to our first resolution of the evening, and that's Resolution 18-R-37. Mr. McDonald.
A resolution to enter into an agreement for stop-loss coverage with Vandalia Securities EBU.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this resolution does authorize an agreement for stop-loss coverage related to the city's health insurance coverage. The city's plan year runs from July 1 through June 30 each year. The specific deductible per covered life remains at $50,000. The city's total maximum cost under this agreement is estimated to increase about 8.5%, from $2,428,883 to $2,635,359.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve Resolution 18R-37 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis, second by Councilman Gerhardt, to approve Resolution 18-R-37 as presented. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhardt?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yeah.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Resolution 18-R-38. Mr. McDonald.
A resolution awarding the bid for copiers to ProSource as the lowest and best bid, authorizing the city manager to enter into the related finance lease with U.S. Bank for the copiers supplied by ProSource and to enter into a maintenance agreement.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The city's current 5-year copier lease expires at the end of May. The current lease is for 9 copiers, with 2 copiers that are on separate leases being added for a total of 11 copiers. 12 bids were received, with one of those bidders not submitting the required documentation. ProSource was the lowest and best bid at $1,904.92 per month. This bid for 11 copiers is lower than the previous lease that we had for 9 copiers. So the total savings is around $832 per month, or $9,984 annually. The total cost for this lease is $22,859 annually, or $114,295 over the 5-year term.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve Resolution 18-R-38 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Herbst, second by Councilman Ehlers, that we approve Resolution 18-R-38 as presented. Comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Resolution 18-R-39, Mr. McDonald.
A resolution approving the Scene 75 expansion plat.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the applicant is requesting a replat of 22.1110 acres, being 6196 Poe Avenue, which is Scene 75, and 3325 Stop 8 Road, which is the former ITT building, to create one lot from 2. The purpose of the lot combination is to provide overflow parking for Scene 75. 6196 Poe Avenue is zoned Office Industrial Park and Office Plan Unit Development, while the former ITT building is zoned Office Industrial Park. A rezoning application accompanies this replat that proposes to rezone both those properties to highway business. The Planning Commission reviewed the proposed plat at its April 10 meeting, voted 5-0 to recommend approval, subject to the accompanying rezoning request being approved.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move that we approve Resolution 18-R-39 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis, second by Councilman Gerhard to approve Resolution 18-R-39 as presented. Any comments? Could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Resolution 18-R-40, Mr. McDonald.
A resolution approving amendments to the City of Vandalia Emergency Operations Plan.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The Emergency Operations Planning Committee has reviewed and revised the city's emergency operation plan. The EOP was last updated in 2007. Proposed revisions are attached and highlighted and were reviewed by Chief Follick at your May 7 study session. And actually, Chief's here if you have any specific questions.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Make a motion we approve Resolution 18-R-40. Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhard, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Resolution 18-R-40. And are there comments or questions? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. We have no ordinances in their first reading. We do, however, have an ordinance in its second reading. That's Ordinance 18-10. Mr. McDonald.
An ordinance rezoning property located at 3325 Stop 8 Road and 6196 Poe Avenue from Office Industrial Park and Industrial PUD to Highway Business and amending the zoning map of the city.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. So the applicant's requesting to rezone 22.110 acres, being the Scene 75 site and the former ITT building, from industrial planned unit development and office industrial park to highway business. The purpose of the rezoning is to bring the existing Scene 75 Entertainment Center into zoning compliance, to allow for its expansion, and to utilize the former ITT building for overflow parking. The Planning Commission reviewed this request at its April 10th meeting and voted 5-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I'm opening up a public hearing, so if there's anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this ordinance, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and your statement? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Your Honor, I move that we approve ordinance 18-10 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Herbst, second by Councilman Ehlers, that we do approve ordinance 1810 in its second reading. Are there any comments? Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. There are no emergency ordinances this evening, and that brings us to our reports from boards and commissions with a conditional use permit at 3675 Wise Road, 6661 Homestretch Road. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the applicant's requesting conditional use approval to establish a truck and heavy equipment sales and service business along with warehousing on a 5.2-acre site at 3675 Weiss Road and 6661 Homestretch Road in the Office Industrial Park District. The facility is proposed at 60,000 square feet with the potential to expand an additional 17,000 square feet. The primary focus of the business is the wholesale distribution of specialized truck accessories to off-site companies. However, 2 service bays will be constructed to install products and train vendors on how to install the products. The Planning Commission reviewed this request at its May 8th meeting. They voted 4-0 to recommend approval, subject to the following conditions. First, that the conditional use be revisited by the Planning Commission and City Council at the time of any building expansion, that the 3 lots be platted in order to combine them into one prior to any building permits being issued, then any parking lot or loading area lighting be full cutoff fixtures and arranged to deflect light away from abutting properties or the right-of-way, that the applicant provide for landscaping in accordance with the zoning code, and that the conditional use shall expire if building permits have not been issued for all buildings and or structures within 6 months of approval, or if the use has ceased by discontinuance or abandonment for a period of 6 months or more.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve conditional use permit at 3675 Weiss Road and 6661 Homestretch Road.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ehlers, second by Councilman Gerhart, that we do approve the conditional use permit. Are there any comments? Could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. We have a variance to curb openings and parking at 3675 Wise Road. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is for the same business. So the applicant is requesting 2 variances, one for parking and one related to curb openings for a proposed business that will specialize in the wholesale distribution of specialized truck accessories. Okay, so the applicant's requesting approval to install 49 parking spaces. There'll be 27 passenger vehicle spaces and 22 truck spaces, where 58 are required. The applicant indicates that based upon their current location, they believe they only need about 20 to 25 parking spaces. However, if additional parking is needed in the future, it could be added according to the proposed site plan that does show a parking area that's not to be paved unless needed. Again, a corner lot is permitted 1 curb opening per street frontage. The applicant proposes to have 1 curb opening on Homestretch Road and requests 2 curb openings on Weiss Road. The additional curb opening on Weiss Road is proposed at the eastern edge of the site, approximately 70 feet from the Weiss Homestretch intersection. Again, if approved, staff recommends that this curb opening be required to be relocated at least 100 feet from the intersection. So at its meeting on May 9th, the Board of Zoning Appeals reviewed this request. They voted 3-0 to recommend approval, subject to the following conditions. That the variance be approved only if the concurrent conditional use request is approved, and that the easternmost curb opening along Weiss Road be moved west from the intersection, a minimum of 100 feet. And such opening shall be designated for exit only and right turn only.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the variance to the curb openings and parking at 3675 Wise Road, according to all the indications of memorandums from Ms. Holloway.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Lewis, to approve the variance requested at 3675 Wise Road with the conditions provided. Comments? Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. We have a sign variance for 6680 Poe Avenue. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Poe Avenue Park Center. Poe Avenue Park Center is requesting a variance to allow a 110 square foot sign at 6680 Poe Avenue for Dayton Physicians Network. The zoning code permits wall-mounted signs at one sign per tenant and a ratio of 1 square foot of sign area for each 1 foot of tenant building frontage, not to exceed 100 square feet. The property in question consists of 2 multi-story, multi-tenant office buildings. The building in question maintains 82 feet of building frontage facing Poe Avenue and I-75. The proposed sign includes a large logo that is taller than the sign itself, and because of how the area of a sign is defined in our zoning code, and the height of the logo affects how the area of the sign is calculated. The applicant has also indicated there are currently 4 32 square foot signs in the building, and that 2 of those will be removed to accommodate the proposed new sign. The BZA reviewed this request at its April 25th meeting. They voted 4-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move to approve the sign variance at 6680 Poe Avenue as presented.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Herbst, second by Councilman Blakesley, to approve the sign variance at 6680 Poe Avenue. Are there comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. We have a variance to expand non-conforming use at 7655 Poe Avenue. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. So Rush Truck Centers has requested a variance to allow the expansion of a non-conforming use at 7655 Poe Avenue. The property is located in the Highway Business District, which does not permit truck, heavy equipment sale, and service businesses. However, the property in question has been used for truck sales and service since the 1970s. The zoning code states that no non-conforming use shall be enlarged, extended, reconstructed, or structurally altered. Rush Trucking proposes to construct 2 additions totaling 12,935 square feet to provide additional indoor storage and service bays to reduce the need for outdoor storage of vehicles and stock. The plan also proposes a rehab of the parking lot, renovations to the sales area, office, and service bay areas, as well as the addition of a fire suppression system for the entire building. The BZA reviewed this request at its April 25th meeting and voted 4-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the variance to expand non-conforming use 7655 Poe Avenue for Rush Trucking.
Second.
Well, it's been moved by Councilman Ehlers, second by Vice Mayor Herbst, that we do approve the variance request to expand the non-conforming use at 7655 Poe Avenue. Are there any questions or comments?
The only comment I have, even though this is an expansion of a non-conforming use, our city manager and through our city attorney did confirm that the surrounding property owners that would have an interest in the an expansion of a non-conforming use were notified and apparently had no complaints related to the expansion.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Council, you have before you the Board of Zoning Appeal minutes of April the 25th, Planning Commission minutes of April the 10th, Vandalia Records Commission draft minutes of April the 23rd. Are there any comments you'd like to make about any of those? Seeing none, the bill listing for the month of April was $3,168,956.97. And that brings us to council comments, starting with Mr. McDonald.
Nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Okay, Councilman Lewis?
No comments other than to move to excuse Candace Forrest and Bob Ehlers from the work session, and Candace Forrest from the meeting tonight and the accompanying workshop afterward.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved by Councilman Lewis, second by Vice Mayor Herbst, that we do excuse Councilman Ehlers and Councilwoman Forrest from our workshop earlier,
And Ms. Forrest.
and Ms. Forrest
from the council meeting.
meeting and the,
Executive session following.
okay. Everybody know what we're doing here? Great. Would you call the roll?
Aye.
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 Now, why do we sometimes need to call the roll and other times not? You didn't want to do your job tonight?
I didn't want to do it at all this
Okay,
time.
I thought-
No, legislative actions always require the roll call. These types of things are just council cleanup type of things, and
It's
they
a
don't
new
require
one.
one.
It's a new one. Okay. How about, let's see, that was Lewis.
That's all I have, Your
Ehlers.
Honor.
I was gonna say something, but it's too hot to talk, so I'll pass.
Okay. Councilman Gerhardt,
No comments tonight.
Councilman Blakesley.
Just two quick ones. Just very proud of our employees, John Ross and Mark Collins, and Rec Center patron, Mr. Johnson, who are recognized tonight for their valor in life-saving efforts. And I agree with Chief Follick that if their actions had not been there, the outcome of those things could have been much different and much sadder. So it just shows you some of the caliber of the employees that we have. You know, they don't think of themselves. They just do and react and go to it. The other thing is that I just completed in graduation of Citizens Police Academy, and I want to thank all those involved at the police department that were involved with that, and they put on a great program, as the mayor can attest to. And if anybody gets a chance to do that, I highly encourage that. You know, I've been in the public service for 40 years plus, so however, when you see it from a police officer standpoint, things can get changed much different. One of the nights we had role play as far as like stopping police stops, and I usually don't get too excited, but I'll tell you what, you know, role playing as if you were a police officer making a stop, and all the things that go through your head really give you an appreciation for the police that are out there doing their job every day and risking their lives, and just really appreciate you know, that look as they do their job. So again, appreciate that time they put in. That's all I have.
Okay. Vice Mayor Herbst?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. And if you don't mind, Councilman Blakesley, I would just like to sort of piggyback on what you were saying about the academy. And one of the things that's being done differently this year is the workshops or little meetings. I think it's for an hour that the police are going to be conducting. And there are various topics, but it sort of gears off on some of the topics that were there. And one of them is for parents, especially with the drug problems and so forth in our community. So the drummer has the information, I do believe, and it was posted there. If not, just call the police department and they'll know what you're talking about. So I just really encourage people to get involved in those things. Okay, the executive session. It is recommended that council adjourn to the executive session to discuss or consider the possible sale of real property and to consider the employment, discipline, promotion, or compensation of a public employee. More specifically, matters relating to the performance evaluation of the city manager. Do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and all right, council, is this all in favor, or do we have to take a vote?
You have to take a vote on this one.
All right. Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley.
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhardt. Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Herbst.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and it passes 6-0. What we will be doing is, first of all, continuing the workshop of earlier this evening and then going into the executive session. We will continue our workshop in the other room. So, see you all there.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming.
So I'm delivering 12 of those mornings, so she'll be bringing another one home. The teacher's already paid for 12 of them for the kids to take home. But that way you can.
Miss, are you done with this?
Put one up on the wall.